Hello, everybody. This is Robert, and I welcome you to another edition of Strat-o-Matic Replay. I just purchased the 1905 Major League Baseball season, as we're moving ahead into the history of Major League Baseball and utilizing Strat-o-Matic to do a replay here and there from pretty much each season. What you're seeing is the Wikipedia listing of the standings that happened in 1905. You can see that year it was the Philadelphia Athletics. They won the American League, and the New York Giants won the National League. Now, this year was highlighted by another great season by Christy Mathewson of the Giants. He had 31 wins that year, a 1.28 ERA, which of course is unheard of right now in modern baseball, and about 200 strikeouts. Ruby Waddle took care of things for the American League. He was pretty much just as good. He had more strikeouts than Mathewson did. His ERA was just was 0.2 points higher, and only missed it by 4 wins. The replay I decided to do in this game was in 1905 at the end of the season. Two teams faced off in the National League, and it was the Boston Beaneaters and the Brooklyn Superbas. And what's special about it is this was the first time in Major League history where two teams with over 100 losses faced off against each other in a season-ending series. So here I am. The last 4 replays, I went ahead and I did a couple of winning teams, like the Philadelphia Athletics, the New York Giants, the Boston Americans. But how about playing a game between two losers? So when I looked at the 1905 season, I kind of caught my attention between the Beaneaters and the Superbas, that it was the first time ever that two teams that had over 100 losses faced off against each other to pretty much to see who was going to be the number 1 loser. So we click off of here, and I welcome you to a good day of baseball at Washington Park. This was the home of the Brooklyn Superbas back in the day in 1905. So that's going to be today's replay. The 1905 Boston Beaneaters against the 1905 Brooklyn Superbas at old Washington Park. It's a good day. Wasn't easy to hit a home run out of here. It was a pretty large dimensions, you can tell by the diagram. And pitching for the Superbas is going to be Doc Scanlon. Doc Scanlon that year in 1905, 14 wins, 12 losses, a 2.19 ERA, had 135 strikeouts. So he will be the starting pitcher for Brooklyn against the Boston Beaneaters. So here we are to see who is the number 1 loser in 1905. Two teams that lost 100 games. So let's see who loses the last. And this is actually I went ahead and I didn't simulate. I just chose the lineups for the last game. There was actually a doubleheader played on that date in October. I think it was October 10th. So this was the second game of the doubleheader. This is the last game of the season for these two teams according to the lineups. So let's get to it. Top of the first inning, and leading off for the Beaneaters is Ed Abbaticchio, I believe it's pronounced. And the split cards give a fly out to Jimmy Sheckard in left field, and there's 1 out. That'll bring up Fred Tenney. Tenney, it's a ground ball to Gessler at first. There's a 2nd out. And now Cozy Dolan will bat. And he grounds out to Hummel at 2nd. So 3 up and 3 down, bottom of the 1st. Now pitching for the Boston Beaneaters is Jim Delahanty. Now, Jim Delahanty got the start. He only had 1 start, and this is actually, the start. No wins, no losses, 4.5 ERA. So basically he ed no decision in his start for the Beaneaters. And yes, Jim Delahanty is related to Ed Delahanty, and if you know Ed Delahanty, he was a beast. And I might have to do a replay with Delahanty somewhere in there. So let's go. So Jim Delahanty will be the pitcher, and it'll be Bob Hall leading off for the Superbas. Bob Hall, a good threat to steal, batted .238 in 1905. And let's see what we do here. And he hits a ground ball to Raymer at 2nd. And he makes the nice play by Raymer, throws him out at 1st, 1 down. That'll bring up Jimmy Sheckard. Now, Jimmy Sheckard is well known in baseball circles. He was a pretty darn good player. 292 average, had 3 homers in 1905 for the Superbas, and so he had some playing ability. And he hits a nice base hit to center field. Cannell will throw it in, and so Brooklyn gets a runner on first, and it'll bring up Doc Gessler, who he can't get the lead. We actually are playing. We're playing Boston actually in this game, so the computer is taking care of Brooklyn. Here's Gessler, and the split cards get a fly out to Wilhelm at left field, and there's 2 down, and that will bring up Emil Batch. Batch, it's a ground ball to Apoticcio at short, and that will be an easy throw to first, and that retires the side. So that's the end of the first inning. We go to the second. Here's Jim Delahanty. Now, Jim Delahanty, as a batter, much different. Batted .258. He had 5 home runs this year in the season. Jim Delahanty, the man could hit. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let's have a look at see how he does in his first at bat. It's a fly ball to left, and Sheckard will make the catch, 1 down. And I will bring up Harry Wolverton. And there's another fly ball to Sheckard in left, and Sheckard makes the play, 2 down, and now it's Rip Cannell. And Cannell hits a fly ball out to left field as well, and that retires the side. So no runs scored there. We go to the bottom half of the second, and John Hummel will lead it off for Brooklyn. And it's a line drive right to second, and Raymer makes the play, 1 out, and that'll bring up Phil Lewis. Grounds out to Wolverton at third, throw over to first, 2 down, and Charlie Millay will bat now. And he gets struck out by Delahanty. So 3 up, 3 down. We go to the third in this last game of the regular season between the Boston Beaneaters and the Brooklyn Superbas, 2 teams that lost 100 games that year. And it was the first, and again, as mentioned earlier, this is the first time 2 teams with over 100 losses faced off against each other ever in this series. Here's Fred Raymer leading it off for Boston. He hits a fly ball to center. Millay will make the catch, 1 out. And now here's Pat Moran. Moran hits another fly ball to center, 2 down. And now here's Kaiser Wilhelm. And Kaiser Wilhelm will get a base hit, so that gives the Beaneaters a runner on first. And Ed Apoticcio will go ahead and make the stand in. And then he grounds out to second and retires the side. So no runs, a hit, and no errors. Bottom half of the third. Here's Lou Ritter leading it off for the Superbas. And that one is clean gone. Lou Ritter smacks a home run out of the park. I wonder how far that traveled, because the dimensions of Washington Park were pretty weird, as you can tell by the diagram. So Lou Ritter smacks one off of Jim Delahanty, and Brooklyn takes a 1-0 lead, and that'll bring up Doc Scanlon. And Scanlon hits a single to left, runner on first. They will hold him. And here's Bob Hall. He can't get the lead. Hall line out right to Wolverton at third base, and that's the first out of the inning. Jimmy Sheckard will come up to bat. He hits a ground ball to first, and Tenney will make the play. And he gets the runner on first. Scanlon is out, so he's still got a runner on first base. Sheckard now up, and Gessler now up. I'm sorry. Sheckard can't get the lead. And there's a pop fly ball at the third, and retires the side. So after 3 innings, it's the Brooklyn Superbas 1 and the Boston Beaneaters 0. And yes, if people are wondering, that is what they were called, or there was the nickname given to them back in the time before they were known as the Boston Braves. They were known as the Boston Beaneaters. The thing about some nicknames, some of the nicknames, some of these teams really didn't make official. Some of them were kind of like given by the newspaper columnists, I learned. So sometimes some of these nicknames were not really, were not just official. Okay. Fred Tenney leads off in the top of the fourth. And there's a grounder to Gessler at first, 1 down. And I'll bring up Cozy Dolan. Dolan lines out to third base, 2 away. And now my boy Jim Delahanty will come up, and he just clean strikes out. So the Boston Beaneaters aren't getting anything going right now. Bottom of the fourth for the Superbas. Emil Batch will come up to bat. And Delahanty gets him to strike out, one away. John Hummel is next. He hits a fly ball to left, and Wilhelm will make the play, and Phil Lewis will come up to bat next. And Jim Delahanty gets him to strike out. So 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the fifth. And Harry Wolverton will lead off for the Beaneaters. And there's a line out right to first base. Gessler makes the easy play, one away. And it'll bring up Rip Cannell. Rip Cannell hits a ground ball to third base. Batch will come up with it, throw it over to first for the second out. And now here's Fred Raymer. Split card coming up, and it's a fly ball to center field. And Cannell is going to make the play. So nothing doing on as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Charlie Millay will go up against Delahanty. And it's a line drive right to Abaticchio at shortstop for the first out. And Lou Ritter will come up. He struck out by Delahanty. He's caught looking, and that'll bring up Doc Scanlon. Scanlon gets a base hit, so he'll go to first. And that'll bring up Bob Hall, and I'm gonna hold him. And he can't get the lead. And there's a ground ball to Delahanty. Can he make the play? Yes, he does. Delahanty makes the play, throws him out, and that retires the side. We go to the sixth, and right now a pitcher's duel between Doc Scanlon and Jim Delahanty. Pat Moran will lead off, top of the sixth. And it's up to Ritter to make a play now, and he pops it out. Ritter makes the catch. And here's Kaiser Wilhelm. Kaiser Wilhelm is another interesting player. But he didn't do much this time. If those of you who don't know about him, look him up on Wikipedia. You might find out something about him. Kaiser Wilhelm in 1905 batted 160. I guess maybe he was not well known, but I actually know about the player a little bit. And Kaiser Wilhelm split card, and he gets a base hit. So there's a base hit there for Boston as we finally get a base runner. Wilhelm is no threat to steal. They're not even going to hold him. So Ed Abaticchio will come up. Now with one out, let's have a look and see his hit and run ability. He can hit and run, but there's with no threat though by Wilhelm. Stealing his E, this guy is just no threat. Basically, I could bunt him over, but I think Abaticchio, who bats 279, I'm going to let him take a hit. So let Abaticchio swing away, and it's a ground ball to Batch. He gets the lead runner. Now, Abaticchio is a threat to steal. And with 2 outs, and I'm now in the 6th inning, I got Fred Tenney batting. Now, the hit and run I can't use in this case, but we can maybe do something Abaticchio. We're going to try to steal here, because I got to, even though it's being held, I got to try to make a steal. So let's see what to do here. And try to steal second base. And he's running, and he gets the steal. So Abaticchio steals second with 2 outs, and now I got a runner in scoring position. And we'll see if Fred Tenney can make a play. And the split cards come a line drive, a foul out to second base. Can't get the runner in. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. And here's Sheckard. Sheckard grounds out to Wolverton at third base. And it's an easy routine play to first for 1 out. And it'll bring up Doc Gessler. And there's another big home run. This one hit by Gessler as he sends one out the park. And that was off of Gessler's card. So that was a big hit. And Brooklyn now leads 2-0 off of Jim Delahanty. So there's a big home run by the Brooklyn Superbas. Emil Batch will come up. He grounds to Delahanty, hits a hit ball. And this one is going to get past the mound. Delahanty couldn't get to it. And so Brooklyn has a runner on first. And John Hummel is up. And there's another base hit. This one for Hummel. Batch is being held at second. So now runners at first and second with 1 out. And Phil Lewis is up. And Phil Lewis belts one high, deep, and gone. So in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Brooklyn Superbas had sent 2 home runs out in this inning off of Jim Delahanty, and now the score is 5-0. So with still only 1 out here in the 6th, so 2 big home runs hit in this inning off the batter's card, as a matter of fact. Charlie Millay is still the batter. As the batter now, he hits a ball to Delahanty. This time Delahanty makes the play for the 2nd out, and that will bring up Lou Ritter. Lou Ritter hits a grounder to Abaticio at short, and he'll throw to first to finally end the inning. So at the end of 6, it's the Brooklyn Superbas 5, the Boston Beaneaters 0. We go to the 7th. Doc Scanlon pitching a heck of a game for Brooklyn. Here's Cozy Dolan. Split card is up. It's a line out to the first base, 1 out. Jim Delahanty is scheduled to come up. I'm going to bring up a pinch hitter here. So we're going to bring up a pinch hitter. And let's see. Scanlon's a righty, so let's bring in Lumley to pinch hit here. At least I thought I could do that. Let's see here. Let's see. Can bring in a pinch hitter. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I'm doing. I'm on the wrong one. Forgive me. I'm still learning the system. We'll bring in Sharp. He'll bat for Delahanty. So I'm going to bring in Bud Sharp to pitch it. And let's see what we got. And he grounds out to first. And they're now 2 away. And that'll bring up Harry Wolverton. And that's a base hit for Wolverton. So Boston gets a runner on first base. And it'll bring up Rip Cannell. Can we maybe get something going here in the inning? Nope. Fly ball to right field. And the inning is over. What are the weight requirements for a baseball? Let's see. Not less than 5 more. And so I'm missing a pitcher. So yeah, we got to bring in a pitcher. And let's see. Who's batting. It'll be a lefty. So let's bring in a lefty. Let's bring in Dolan to pitch. Let's see here. Sharp was Oh, that's because Dolan's already out there. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm looking. Let's see, let's go. How about Young? The new pitcher for the Boston Beaneaters will be Irv Young. Let's have a look at his card. Irv Young, in 1905, 20 wins, 21 losses, a 2.9 ERA. That's actually pretty good for a pitcher, 2.9 ERA. Just 20 wins and 21 losses? Well, yeah, I wonder how much money he'd get if he was a 500 pitcher, but he had a 2.9 ERA in today's league. Scanlon will lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th. And he pop flies out to third. And there's 1 down. That'll bring up Bob Hall. Pop fly out to second base. Raymer will make the play. Quarters are in. And here's Jimmy Sheckard. And Sheckard hits a fly ball. And he will make the catch in right field. And that's the inning. I know I could easily just make some changes to the video because I'm having some issues with the game sometimes. I'm still learning the nuances of it. But, hey, I don't mind showing the... This isn't the networks, Top of the 8th inning, still Brooklyn 5, Boston 0 here. And it will be Fred Raymer leading off for the Beaneaters, who are getting shut out. Split card come up, and it's a line out to Batch at third, 1 down. And it'll bring up Pat Moran. Split card shows a fly out to center field. Millay will make the catch, 2 down. And now Kaiser Wilhelm will bat. And line out to first, and that retires the side, bottom of the 8th. Irv Young will keep on there. Doc Gessler leads off. He hit a home run his last time up, and he grounds out, and will bring up Emil Batch. Batch, it's a ground ball to Tenney, and Tenney commits an error, and that will allow the runner to get onto first base. So a 1 base error by Tenney, And the Superbas have a runner on first, and John Hummel will come up to bat. And he pops out to second, and it will bring up Phil Lewis. Lewis hit a home run off of Jim Delahanty, so he is 1 for 3 by the look of it. And Irv Young gets him to strike out. So at the end of 8, it's still 5-0. And this is actually going to be, if I don't do anything here in the ninth inning, this is actually be the first replay I've lost. If anyone's watched my others, 1901, 2, 3, or 4, you'll notice I've actually won every one of these replays. This would be the first one I've actually lost the game. Here's Ed Abaticchio. We're going to try to see if we can make a big comeback. And popping out to third base doesn't get it done. So 1 away. Doc Scanlon on the verge of a complete game. Fred Tenney will bat next. And he walks. So at least we're not going to go down quietly in the ninth. Tenney goes on to first. And Cozy Dolan will come up to bat. And he walks Dolan. So now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Irv Young is supposed to be the batter. So we get a chance to pinch hit for him. So we'll pinch it for Young. And I think we're going to go with, let's see here. What is it? He batted 224, 105. It looks like it's going to be Frazier. So coming in will be Chick Frazier to pitch, to come up to bat. Chick Frazier, 1905, 224 average. And let's see. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Let's see. Can the Beaneaters make a play? Here's the pitch. And Frazier struck out looking. Scanlon continues to do the job. And now with runners at first and second, it's Clutch and Harry Wolverton. Let's have a look at Wolverton here. Harry Wolverton batted 225, 2 home runs in 1905. And the Clutch, we are doing Clutch. So let's see what we got here. And let's do it. Harry Wolverton, where's the pitch? And line drives right to Gessler at first, makes the catch. And the Boston Beaneaters get shut out by the Brooklyn Superbas. And let's take a look at that box score. So it is a big victory for the 1905 Brooklyn Superbas as they beat the 1905 Boston Beaneaters by a score of 5-0. Jim Delahanty will take the loss. He gave up 5 runs on 8 hits, 7.5 ERA. Doc Scanlon got the win. He didn't give up a single run. And there were home runs. Gessler had his first home run. Lewis hit a home run, and Ritter hit 1. So 3 home runs as Doc Scanlon holds Boston scoreless on just 3 hits as the Brooklyn Superbas top the Boston Beaneaters by a score of 5-0 at Washington Park. So this is my first loss playing Strat-o-Matic baseball replay, as you can tell. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. My next broadcast will be a game from the 1906 season. And if anybody knows their history, the 1906 Chicago Cubs, 116 wins, but yet they didn't win the World Series that year. If anybody's interested, check out maybe 1906 Major League season on Wikipedia or so. But that doesn't mean that could be the game. We'll find out what game I choose. Until then, everybody, again, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like or a comment if you wish. And everyone have a good day and stay safe out there. Once again, the final score, the 1905 Brooklyn Superbas 5 and the 1905 Boston Beaneaters 0.